Hello, morning everyone. This is Ritu Sharma from Kindle Your True Power. I am a women empowerment coach and I am a women's transformation coach. I organize events, workshops for women and ladies and young girls, teenagers aged 13 to 18, helping them to empower themselves, find themselves, achieve their true potential, their full potential. Here at Kindle Your True Power, we bring influential individuals to face with ourselves, and we try and get golden nuggets out of them, and we give them a platform to share their valuable experiences with us and our audiences, and to enlighten the true power within us. Sam, who is my co-host on this show, is away at the moment on a business trip, and unfortunately he won't be able to join us today. However, he will be back for our next episode of Kindle Your True Power. Sam Dosser is a business mentor and he is a burnout specialist coach. Today with myself, I have a phenomenal woman. I have somebody who has stood her ground and has achieved a lot at a very young age. And the lady today on with me is Golhar. Hello, good morning.
Hi, Ritu. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for joining me, I'm really pleased to have you on the show today. And is she's a Sikh businesswoman, and she has graduated from the very reputed school, Central St. Martin's in Art. And she is a founder of Abstract PR, which is Am's company. And she is a feminist, and that is what I find very attractive about Am. She clearly says she's such a feminist, and she believes in women empowerment, and she believes that there should be equal rights prevailing for all of us, irrespective of our gender. Am has done a lot of work in fashion industry. She's been connected and related to a lot of big names in the fashion industry, and I'm sure Am will be very pleased to share that information with us as well. And I believe that Am has also had her own production line at one point, and it's just amazing how at such a young age, I'm really flabbergasted to see that at such a young age you have achieved so much. And I would really like you to share your story with all of us and say, what is it that got you here?
Wow. Okay. So thank you so much for that introduction. I'm very grateful for life and my journey, and growing up, all I ever wanted to, I was such a creative. All I wanted to do, I want to be a designer. That is it. Went into obviously graduating from Central St. Martin's. As you mentioned, I specialised in textiles and knitwear. I then went on to freelance as a designer for Alexander McQueen, JW Anderson, during London Fashion Week. I then realised during London Fashion Week, for me personally, it wasn't my world. I then ended up getting a job with an elderly man called John Michael Ingram, who I guess you can say was my mentor at that point. He was in his late 70s at that time. John had owned the first fashion forecasting business in the whole of in the UK. He had a store called Guys and Dolls. His mother launched Joseph, the store, and I had such a great mentor, and I learned so much about the manufacturing industry. And at the same time, I had a lot of my friends who had graduated from art school ask me, how do I get a sample of this? How do I start a fashion brand? How do I do this? So I was almost kind of consulting them at the same time. As well as obviously I had this job where I was, going into Harrods, I was consulting them. I was working with stores in Notting Hill, like boutique stores, and we were doing all of their sampling, all of their kind of collections, their manufacturing for them. And a lot of my friends were asking me to do their sampling and production at the same time. And that somehow formed into a business. Whereas John said to me, I think it's time you need to kind of just go off and set up on your own. And I then launched the manufacturing. Well, I launched a manufacturing business whilst I was there anyway at 22. But yeah, I went full on with it full time at such a young age. I had a studio on King's Road, and it was great. We took on a lot of brands. I consulted their seasonal collections. We did their sampling. We did their production. I had no idea about production. I had no idea about CIFs and FOBs and shipments, and there was a lot to learn at such a young age. And not having come from that background, I had no idea, but I was learning. I was learning whilst I was going along. I get very huge orders from clients for their stores that they were stocking in, like TK Maxx, for instance. We did about 40,000 units. Where I'd need to jump on a flight and be in a factory for a month on end and be back, and it was very intense, and I loved it and I enjoyed it. And at the same time, because I'd already worked with ASOS as well with some of the brands that I looked after, they wanted me to do an exclusive collection for them. So I was a menswear designer. I don't know why I always enjoyed menswear stuff, but yeah, so I launched the menswear line. I think I was about 24, 25 years old. So we did an exclusive with them, which was pretty cool. I think I might have been the first British Asian woman to do that, actually. So I did my exclusive. We were selling and stocking worldwide. We did, I think it was China. We were in Vogue. We were in Drapers. We did trade shows. So that was quite fun. That was for about 4 or 5 seasons, because my main focus and my main business was the manufacturing company. It got to a point where I guess when I was about 28, 29, I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was getting very exhausted. I was getting very tired. I didn't know how to deal with a lot of stress at that age. And I'm not afraid to say that, I did get very ill, and the manufacturing wasn't serving me anymore.
Yeah.
I wasn't enjoying life, and I thought, you know what, I need to make a decision. What do I do? Do I jeopardize my health? Do I continue killing myself in doing this? So I decided to wrap up the manufacturing business but continue consulting, which was good because I stayed in one country instead of just constantly flying around and living in factories and stayed in factories. People, thought, oh, that was great. You're doing this, or you're going there, or you get. It wasn't that amazing. It wasn't that exciting.
It was hard work, wasn't it? I'm sure it must have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of my friends were getting on with life. They were going out partying, where I was like just concentrating on work, and it was just at such a young age. I was like, oh my god, what have I missed out on? But it was okay because I'd achieved so much, and that's what I'm so grateful for. My journey somehow then, after I wrapped up the manufacturing business, I did get offered a position in Ohio with Abercrombie and Fitch as a knitwear specialist. They opened up a position especially for me, but I ended up declining for various reasons, and ended up contracting in London. So contracted with Arcadia Group as a buyer, QVC as a fashion buyer as well. And I then somehow got a position with a completely different industry, which was a construction company. It was Balfour Beatty. And they were going through a huge transformation at that time, and they needed someone to come in and assist them on the rebranding process. And I'd actually done that with Burberry as well for 7 months when they had brought their children's wear team 7 years ago into London. So because I already had that experience, they wanted to kind of be like, do you want to come on board? Went on board. I ended up staying, and I then somehow ended up becoming a business partner for their major product side of the business. I had no idea about construction, but it was fun. It was interesting. And then I ended up in the media team, and it was quite cool because I looked after awesome projects like Crossrail. So when they launched their first the tunneling book, it was amazing to be part of all of that. The HS2 projects, former Olympic Stadium projects, M25 motorway projects. So it was pretty cool. It was a great learning curve, and I really enjoyed it. And at the same time, I undertook my practitioner course at the CIPR, Chartered Institute of Public Relations. So I ended up staying there for about 3 and a bit years. And then it was time to kind of
move on.
Yeah, take some time out. I had some.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how much you've done in such a short while. I think a lot of people would struggle to do the whole lot in a whole lifetime.
I haven't done enough. There is so much more.
I'm sure there's more for you to achieve because you started early. So well done. Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. Just listening to it is so excited. It's getting me very excited just listening to it's amazing what you have achieved. So, when we discussed what would you want the topic for our interview to be, you said instantly, I want to talk about why I am such a feminist, and that got my attention in no time. So why are you such a feminist, Anne?
Because I've had, being a British Asian woman, my parents have always supported me, and I've seen that other British Asian women's families have not supported them. Not so much now. I think there is a lot more support now. I mean, we all come from different generations. Yes. My mother was a working mother, my nan was, but going back and back and back, it wasn't, women shouldn't be business women, or women shouldn't, why women should be at home, or women, especially British Indian women. We come from this whole tradition and this whole culture, and you should be, there's values that are put upon us. And my parents never inflicted that on me. And I did what I did, and they supported me. And I look at other people that didn't have that support, and I think that's why I am such a feminist, and women should have equal rights.
They should. Yeah.
I think the word feminist, people get so scared about. What is that word? Does that mean women hate men? No, it's not. A feminist is someone that fights for equal rights, that men and women should have equal rights.
Yeah, of course, when we say feminist, there is a negative connotation to that, because instantly people think that, oh, you're anti-men. If you're a feminist, you're probably against, getting along with men, which is not the case really. And, because I work in personal development and women empowerment, and all my work, most of it is around raising awareness within women. And I do work with a lot of Asian women as well. And I am very pleased to hear that you were there was no discrimination in your case, and you were supported, and you were loved equally, and you were given equal opportunities. You would be surprised, even now in today's times, there are lots and lots of women who are not respected just because they're women, or are not given equal chances to live a happy, normal life, because they're just not allowed to choose that. And it's just a sad situation. But when we say women empowerment, when we use the terms like feminism, feminist, people really don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
So have you had that sort of experience yourself as well?
In terms of what do you mean, sorry?
Being a woman and calling yourself a feminist, strongly believing that there should be equal rights.
There should be equal rights, yes.
Yeah, so being a woman yourself, were the challenges that you had to face in personal life or in work life?
Well, my personal challenges were, obviously I started at a very, very young age. And when I was in the manufacturing game and running my own business, I was dealing with a lot of older people. And it's different when you're on the phone or behind the screen, because they don't know who you are. And as soon as you meet them face to face, one was like, "Oh, you look young." Two, you're a woman and you're Asian. Yeah. Like, what do you know? So sometimes you've just got to kind of be adamant in terms of your stuff. I was going to say another word, but I shouldn't. But your stuff, and you're in this game for a reason. So it has been hard, but you just got to ignore it and just got to get on with it. I mean, sometimes it's difficult when you've got to you are invited to certain events and you're full of a room with complete alpha dominant male, and there's only about 2-3 women there. That's hard because you get ignored.
Yes, I can imagine that.
And it is what it is.
Yeah. And as you said, all you can do is just
one or two guys, but not necessarily. But there are some men out there. You know what? I have a mentor that I work with, and he is full of a family, full of women, and he is just so very supportive as well. And there should be more British Asian women leaders.
I agree. I completely agree. I was listening to one of these lectures of a scholar, and he goes, when we keep our women from taking leadership roles, we are actually depriving our community, because leadership qualities are not gender-based, you see. It's not that God has gifted only men those qualities. We equally receive them. We have them if we have them, don't we? Yeah. So it is really sad that we're still seen as women trying to take on leadership roles rather than just people trying to take up leadership roles and exploit their potential. So being a woman, as you said, you personally did not face discrimination,
I have faced discrimination. There are situations that I have faced discrimination, but I don't think it's a topic I can share at the moment.
Absolutely. You don't have to if you're not comfortable doing that. That's absolutely. Let's talk about your work. You know, the abstract PR. Tell me more about that, please.
Okay, so obviously my journey into fashion then kind of led on to forming my PR agency, which just somehow happened. So it happened about 2 years ago when obviously I'd left the other business that I was in, and I continued consulting, and I just somehow ended up getting these clients, and I thought, oh, okay, I can't do this on my own now. So I ended up forming Abstract PR. So we have, I think it's probably been about a year now that we completely rebranded, restructured. But it's really exciting. We look after a lot of public figures. We start off a lot of brands. We work with a lot of medium-sized businesses as well. The purpose of Abstract PR is looking after people that have a purpose, that there's something that, if it's real, we'll look after them. If they want to become famous for the sake of it, I won't look after them. So, for instance, if it's something that they're passionate about, I'm just going to say it how it is.
In your profile that I received, you said soulful. You used the word soulful, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you work with people whose work is soulful. I believe that's what was used. Yeah. You want to tell me a bit more about that?
Okay. So just individuals that are here in this world they have a purpose and they have a mission to achieve. It's not about making them famous. It's about them actually helping individuals. Okay. That, their souls are pure to help individuals in certain ways.
And I completely agree with that because I
connect.
You do connect with the right people, don't you? You can feel that. You can feel the genuinity if it exists.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very good work ethic. That you want to promote people's work that is meaningful, rather than being there for selfish reasons, just for the sake of, as you said, becoming famous. Yeah. That's lovely. That's lovely. Right. I'd like you to also tell me, being a feminist, how do you support other women in their journeys, in their upliftment?
Well, that's a funny one, Ritu, because since I was so I went to a girls' school and obviously then went into art school and then ended up forming my own business. And what the weirdest thing was, I always had people coming to me, and a lot of females saying, how do I do this? How do I start this brand? Like, what do I do? And it just continued throughout life. And especially now, you know, I'm in my early 30s, and I get a lot of women that come to me that are either at a crossroads with their careers, or they are ready to start their own business, but they don't know how to. And they're like, but what do I do? Do I do something that is quick and easy to make money? Or do I do something that I'm passionate about? And it's just something that comes so naturally to me. And because of all of that, I am actually working with my business partner, and we're launching Inspired Businesswoman. Inspired Business, sorry, women, not women. And Inspired Businesswomen is going to launch mid-year. Oh, we're already in March, so like I think June time. And so what Inspired Businesswoman is about, it's about a program. It's like a business, like a small MBA. My business partner has a program which has been approved by the British Chamber of Commerce. Within that program, I will be adding a section within PR. And yeah, so it's because I'm so passionate about women in business. It's happening, and I didn't plan for it to happen this year, but it's happening, and I'm just embracing it because I'm so passionate about it. I want to create leaders. It's not about, so a lot of women think it's all about competition, Ritu. It's not about competition. It's about supporting each other, helping each other, because at the end of the day, we're all in this world and we're all going to leave. Do you know what I mean? Why not just share the experiences? There's enough for everyone in this world. You know, we're all here for a reason, for a purpose, and we're just sharing. So that's what is happening this year, and that's how I'll be supporting a lot of women. So yeah, I'm really excited. We're doing a roadshow. UK cities are going to be set. Dates still need to be organised, but that will be done hopefully within the end of the month. So I will be able to share all of that.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. So you know that Inspiring Businesswomen, the program you just spoke about, is that going to be available in different parts of the country, or would it be based in London itself?
It is going to be in the UK, and what we will be doing is it might then get turned into a course, because these are intense 3-4 day programs. You know, there are going to be segments in terms of selling without selling. It's going to be branding. It's going to be PR. It's going to be, you know, finding your positioning. How am I going to make money? Looking at different packages. Really understanding how to start off. Or it can be for people that are stagnated, and they're like, and you're like, okay, what do I do next? My business isn't moving. How do I take it to the next level?
Super, excellent. That's brilliant. I'm sure that's going to be a great success, because I know personally there are lots of women who are in business, and exactly what you've said, they've done the bits that they understand and they've achieved much. Now they need to move on to expand and explore further, and I'm sure they're going to benefit from what you're offering.
And I think like one of the reasons was I have not, like, since my whole career, there hasn't really been a program for women, educating women in business. I mean, I've been on plenty of programs. You know, Suki Wangwa, who is my business partner, Inspired Businesswoman. I've done a lot of his programs, which are obviously approved by the British Chamber of Commerce, and that's what we've now partnered up to bring together for women. Because I'm like, where is this for women? There isn't anything. There might be, there might not be.
The question has just popped up into my mind, and I'm going to ask you just after I've said a hello to Rhonda, who's here with us, watching us. Hello, Rhonda. Thank you for coming along. Hello, Anthony. Thank you for coming along as well. You know, when you're talking about Inspired Businesswomen, and you've said there hasn't been a program you've come across that was designed especially for women, I would want you to tell our audience and myself, because I'm so eager to know, what is it? Why is it that you think there is a need for a particular program that is designed or cut around women's needs themselves?
I don't want to, like, I think, okay, so there's also men that don't know so much in business as well. So I don't want to just say it's for women, but there needs to be more women leaders. And I don't think women have had the opportunity to be, what's the word? What's the right words for me to say? Right, so I've had the opportunity to go into business, to learn, to educate myself within it. But there's never been a platform for women to be like, oh, okay, why don't you join on this business course or this education and really learn real business? It's different when you're studying business at school, college, or university, but it's about real business and making it all happen. So that's
I think you know what you're saying.
It's not about empowering. It's not about, you know, there's a lot of empowering things around. You know, women are always empowering each other, but this is the business education that women need. Even men.
And I think I know what you're saying. It's because being women, of course, we are different people, and I don't mean in terms of intellect or individuality. I mean, we are different people. Men and women are different in so many different ways, and it's best to accept those differences and then move along together rather than have a conflict over it. For women to establish themselves and be in their own element, I personally believe that safe spaces need to be created for them to learn, to achieve, to hit their full potential. I think that's what you're saying, that there need to be tailor-made programs for women themselves, where they feel safe within themselves and that they think it's okay to take the next step forward now. And of course, we do have different needs, and of course, we do have different circumstances. For instance, I am an entrepreneur, I'm a mother as well. And being a mother, that is my priority. And of course, I have to work around my personal circumstances to be able to do the rest of it. And I think that's what it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree.
Super. Right. So, because it's International Women's Day this week, I think we've fallen into just the correct time.
I know. It wasn't even planned, which was
it was not even planned to have you at this time of the year on this show, but I'm ever so pleased that we could make it. And because you're a feminist, because I work in women empowerment, I think this is just the right time to celebrate that special sparkle of women, that the special impact that women leave on this world. So how these days women celebrate themselves more, at least the fortunate ones do.
Yeah.
Their achievements are celebrated, and whatever they're doing, that's glorified and it's acknowledged a bit better as compared to past. So what would you say? Certain people would say that what is the need?
What is the need?
What is the need to glorify what women are doing? Why an International Women's Day?
Why? Because women need to be recognized. Amazing women need to be recognized. Women do amazing things, and why can't we shout about it?
It's like because we've not been recognized for so long. I think it's just fair that we are given a chance now.
Yeah, and I think it's been 100 years this year that women have won the right to vote, and
yes,
things are getting better, and they are improving. And why not continue shouting about International Women's Day? Every year we're achieving something different, and I think it's great.
Absolutely, it is definitely, and it is such an amazing landmark this year. It is that women achieved their right to vote 100 years ago. Now today, when we think that we do have a right to vote, and we don't take it so at a different level, thinking it's something amazing, it's something, because we look at it as if it is a right, it is a birthright to be treated equally. But there have been times where women were not thought fit to even vote, forget anything else.
And I think, just going back different generations, we are so lucky to be where we are now. There's so much still to happen and for things to change, especially around the world. In different countries, there's still things going on in India, in Africa. But in the UK, we are I'm very blessed and fortunate, you are as well, to just be where we are. We have a voice. but other women still don't. So I still feel like even though we've achieved so much, there's still so much to do around the world.
I agree. Sam's doing good. Nice to have you the other end. Right. Just before we finish, I want you to give a message out. What's your message to the women of the world?
To the women of the world, just be true to yourself. Life is your own journey. A lot of people compete, compare. Just be you, I think. Just be you and go with your own journey. One thing I actually learned yesterday is it's none of your business what people think of you.
Yeah, true. You've got to fulfill your own dreams. You've got to be true. And I completely agree with what you've said. Being who you are. And I think there's only one way to true happiness, and that is accepting yourself exactly how you are and not trying to fit in anywhere, really.
Yeah.
So you've been made special. You've been made you. And that's the beauty of it. And it goes for men, it goes for women, it goes for everyone. Yeah. Don't try and fit into the mold, because it's just a mold. Find your own mold, sparkle, shine, be yourself, be true to yourself, and that will provide you with your true happiness.
Exactly.
It's been amazing to talk to you. I have enjoyed every second of your presence on here. And I would like to say a big thank you to you for joining us. I hope you keep all your dreams and all your wishes come true, and I wish you all the best for your new venture, and I'm sure we'll keep in touch about other stuff as well.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
So that was Sia, and that was Golhar with us on Kindle Your True Power, sharing her journey and her life experiences and her struggles. She did refrain from telling us exactly the sort of discrimination she has faced, but being a woman of substance, she has stood her ground and she has carried on, and that is what matters. I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who took your time to come and be with us, and we will be back soon with our next guest on Kindle Your True Power. Before I go, I want to give a shout out, and I want to just inform everyone that we will be bringing our Kindle Your True Power workshop very soon to Birmingham, and we will keep you posted about the date and the venue and all the other details. So thank you very much for being here. Bye for now.